Oh, it feels good to be back in Australia. There is so much to talk about, from how active the player base is, to the exclusive cars, to the features and multiplayer that might just have made this the best Forza Horizon. What did you think the first thing I'd have to talk about would be though? The pool rank, baby! The perk that lets you start in first place in any single player race. For some reason, my favorite perk never returned. I mean, could you imagine getting to start in front of those obnoxious, rammy drivatars instead of always having to deal with their absolutely stupid behavior? Plus, the perks in this game were global. Do you remember the good old days when times were simpler? We didn't have to check all 500 plus cars to see what perks were in their car mastery. We just had a skill shop in the main menus where you could easily check and reactivate your perks at any time. Not to mention, back in Australia, we were the boss of the festival. Now they just be calling us a superstar all the time. Anyway, I think I'm getting a bit too deep here too quick, but you had to figure this was coming. Forza Horizon 3 Australia. After returning to Horizon 4 in one of my recent videos, the next thing on my mind was to return to the game that we started this channel with way back in 2016, which, damn, 8 years, boys. It's been 8 years. I still remember covering the Forzathon challenges every week. This was basically the concept before the festival playlist, which of course was introduced in FH4. But Forzathon, like the skill shop, used to be simple. There would be 4 total challenges every week. Sometimes those challenges could be combined and you would unlock a new Forzathon exclusive car directly by completing one of those challenges. Sometimes even 2 a week. Unfortunately, Forzathon and content updates were shut down back in 2020. That's when this game hit end of life, just like all the older Forza games. After 4 years, licensing ends, so the game was removed from the Microsoft Store. This would mean that its DLCs were also removed, so they are both unobtainable now. Unless you already own them, you will never get to experience the original Hot Wheels, which overall, for some reason, I think people enjoyed a lot more than the FH5 Hot Wheels. This map had a barn find, crazy jumps, dinosaurs that wanted to eat you. And although I think it was fun, it didn't touch the second expansion, Blizzard Mountain. This was the first time we saw snow in a Horizon game, and it was an incredible experience. It could go from light snow to a blizzard, had insane elevation. It also had a barn find. Whatever happened to those? But it was so beautiful to cruise around, and it created a unique experience that no one saw before. Something people probably don't realize or think about, this was also the test phase for what would end up being seasons, including winter, in Horizon 4's UK. I feel like I've talked about a lot already, but we still have so much more to get into. Before I move forward, I want to circle back to Forzathon. We talked about the events, but I'm sure people are wondering about the cars, and whether or not you can still get them. What I'll say is it's still possible, but it's basically going to be impossible. The only way to get them in 2024 is the auction house, which, yes, it still works and it's still active to an extent, but you'll have to be extremely dedicated and lucky to ever find the Forzathon exclusives. Other cars you'll want to collect are the Horizon editions, which most of those are available through wheel spins. You can of course get some of them at the auction house as well, and they'll be much easier to find. I don't know why, but the Horizon edition vibe was so much better than Forza editions that we have now in the newer games, and Horizon editions, they just seem to mean so much more back in the day. It's funny too that I'm going to say this like this, but there were only less than 550 total cars in this game. Much less to collect than FH4 or 5. And before I forget to mention it, I think an important thing to note is I'm playing on my Xbox Series X, and after years of playing with 60 FPS on FH4 and 5, you certainly notice the 30 frames per second that Horizon 3 has, but after a bit of playtime, it looks and feels normal. Don't let that deter you, and by the way, if you think you can't play this game anymore because it's digitally delisted, you're right, if you have an Xbox Series S. But if you have a Series X, you can find a disc copy from almost anywhere, and the Xbox One disc is backwards compatible. I do own the game digitally, but I also have physical copies. Now, like we talked about in my return to FH4 video, I feel like the map and the gameplay physics are the most important aspects of any racing game, and while I feel like FH4 and FH5 are both similar, maybe slightly more polished driving feels, FH3 is still amazing. It's an adjustment getting used to, well, first of all, builds that I made from 6 to 8 years ago, but also a different map, different races, and slightly different physics. One I don't like is how you can easily crash into what looks like a breakable street pole. They just dead stop you and career end you. But I have no complaint about the way the cars feel to drive. They still have that smooth and enjoyable feel that you probably know, and it's probably the reason you love Horizon 4 and 5. Now the map, I think it's one of the best in the series. You got your long stretch of highway where of course you can full send it. More importantly, Surfer's Paradise, the true city atmosphere that I think a lot of us miss. The Outback Festival areas where we truly got to experience some legit off-road and dirt racing. The jungle areas, the beaches. I mean, this map had it all. Great balance of everything. It's probably not as vibrant as the UK, but I've never found myself getting bored of this map. It also had amazing playground games locations and very good racing layouts. If you've never played this game, you need to try it. You need to experience it. Actually comment and let me know, have you played FH3 and what was your first Forza Horizon? Now, one of my old favorite features I just thought of was the single player convoys that you could create with drivatars. Simply by beeping your horn, they'd start cruising around with you and you could even start races against them. This gave single player a very friendly and connected feel, and I have no idea why we've never seen it since. Some people prefer just single player, and that's why it was a great feature. But now we gotta talk about multiplayer, online. Is there still an active player base in 2024? And in case you didn't know, yes, the servers are still on. Horizon 1 and 2 unfortunately were shut down last year, but thankfully Horizon 3 is still going strong. If you go into online free roam, you'll realize immediately not only how quick you'll find a session, but also how most of the time you'll find a near full lobby. This was just a random quick session I joined earlier today. It had people starting random events, talking in the game chat, and it was just so nice to see. Now, lobbies can be hit or miss. Sometimes you might only find a couple people, but there can only be up to 12 total people. It's basically a convoy. There is no lobby like Horizon 4. Oh, and by the way, I am 100% going to be live streaming this game in the near future, so you better smash that subscribe button and make sure you have the notification bell set to all on. You don't want to miss those live streams. This game also had co-op campaigns, so you could complete events with your friends, and also the ability to create a private session, which really needs to return in Horizon. It would make hosting convoys on stream so much easier and more enjoyable. And in case I haven't stressed it enough, connections and load times in this game are impeccable. Best of the series, no debate, people load in quick, stay connected, events start fast. It's significantly better than FH4 or 5, which both of those games I feel got messed up with cross-platform play. And of course the bad changes Playground Games made to the multiplayer system to start with. I think this was easily the best overall multiplayer experience of any of the Horizon games, hands down, no question. And a small but fun feature that could tie into that was the clubs. Forza Horizon 3 had an in-game club system which allowed you to rank up weekly together as a club. Each tier would reward credits, and this system would create friendly competition, and clubs actually had a meaning other than just the clan tag. By the way, this is my original club from 2016. It does have open spots, so feel free to join. I might even create a new one for 2024 since most of the people in there are probably inactive now. But Forza, make clubs great again. No one wants to exit the game to go to Microsoft clubs. Nobody. This game also had the best and the most reasonable leveling system. There were 1,000 levels. Once you hit max rank, you would just get a star. I think the prestige system with level 2,999 is honestly kinda dumb. I also miss how they properly showed your tuner and painter accomplishments. This was the first game I hit legendary tuner status, and just clearly seeing the 5 stars, legend tuner, it's one of those little things that you certainly appreciate. Kinda like being able to have 4 of your friends in your drivatar lineup in single player. This was also one of the last Forza games to have what I think was the best collector edition steelbook. Unfortunately, this didn't include the expansions, but it had VIP and the car pass. Plus, I still got that GameStop pre-order Centenario diecast. There's so much to love about this game. I hope to see comments from you guys letting me know what your favorite aspects of Horizon Australia are. If you still love Horizon 3 in 2024, you better smash that like button. This video needs to get around to the entire Horizon community so we can keep this game active and ensure it never sees the same fate that FH1 and FH2 had. Hope you enjoyed the video and this little review of FH3 in 2024. If you have any questions about the game, just let me know in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you're new around here, don't forget to make it official and subscribe. We're trying to hit that 100K goal here in 2024. But that's all I got. I'm out. I will see you on the next video.